Hi, welcome to this week's Torah. In this week's Seder, we read about the Bnei Reuven, Bnei Gad, the children of the tribe of Reuven and the children of the tribe of Gad, how they come forward to Moshe Rabbeinu saying, we have so much flock, we have so many animals, we are here in the Transjordan where we can look around and we can see the pastures are green, the land is lush, things are amazing, things are excellent and wonderful over here. Please, Moshe Rabbeinu, don't take us over to the Jordan, don't take us into the land of Israel, let us please remain here. And Moshe Rabbeinu says to them, you're going to cause all of the Jewish people maybe to slip back, maybe not to want to come into the land of Israel. And they said, no, we will come with them, we will have them conquer the land, and then we will come back to our land that's over here. And the Torah tells us that when the Bnei Reuven and the Bnei Gad came forward, it was actually the Bnei Gad that made the request from Moshe Rabbeinu. And the Kli Yakar points out, why is it that the Bnei Gad, who came from a tribe that was lower than the tribe of Reuven, because Reuven was the Bechor, Reuven was the firstborn. So why is it that Bnei Gad came forward and were willing to speak before the Bnei Reuven? And he says, if you look at the verses say, Umikna Rav Hoyel Bnei Reuven. There were many sheep. The Bnei Reuven had quite a lot of flock. Otzum me'oid. But the Bnei Gad had even more. They were even wealthier than the tribe of Reuven. And so you have the Bnei Reuven, who have their money, and the Bnei Gad that have even more money. And the Kli Yakar points out it was the money that the Bnei Gad had that gave them the arrogance to want to speak before the Bnei Reuven. And this is such an important lesson. It's not only a lesson from money, but it works all around, but we can start with money. Money is something that gives people a false sense of maybe bravado, maybe assurance. Just because you have money doesn't make you cleverer than anybody else. Just because you have money doesn't mean that your ideas are better than anybody else or that people have to listen to you, but somehow you push yourself forward anyway. But the Kli Yakar points out that God can take money away from one person and give it to another in a second. Suddenly, the one who was so clever yesterday is not so clever anymore. But it's not only true for money, it's true for any talent. Many times people have a talent, whether they have a talent in being able to draw in people, whether they have a talent in speaking, whether they are very clever, maybe they have any other talent that they might have. And that talent gives people confidence. But even though it can give people confidence, we should realize and recognize that our God-given talents don't in any way make us any better than anybody else. We need to respect other people. Just because somebody else is not as clever as you doesn't mean you cannot respect them. Just because they're not as wealthy as you doesn't mean you can't respect them. Just because they're not as popular as you doesn't mean that their opinion doesn't mean just as much as yours. And this is what we learn here from the Bnei Reuven and the Bnei Gad. The Bnei Gad push themselves forward because they feel that they have more to say because they have the money. And we need to know that we might be blessed by God with all these great gifts, and we need to be so thankful for the gifts that God gives us. But they cannot go to our head. We cannot allow those things to make us feel in any way that we are better than anybody else. They are gifts from Hashem. And sadly, we can see, as we've seen in Corona, everything we had can just be taken away in a second. So instead of using those gifts to jump on top of people, to trod on people, use it to raise others. And if we use it to raise others, then those gifts are well worthwhile. If you use your money to raise other people with your money, you use your popular influence to raise other people, you use your intelligence to raise other people, then and only then is that gift a worthwhile gift. And then you can truly be proud of the gift that you have because you use it for the right purpose and the right reasons. Wishing you all a very good Shabbos.